Yep, like that. Oh yeah. Yep, there we go. That's not bad, second cast on this edge. Flicking a lure, only a little fella, which is good to warm things up. But I'm flicking a presentation that has become an absolute flatty favourite of mine. So this is, you can see how far that fish has inhaled this lure. That's a 3.5 inch ZMan PrawnZ Elite. Right down in the gob there. So that's only that fish wouldn't be legal, and he has absolutely scoffed that 3.5 inch prawn. So they love the look of it. It drifts down, we get vibration that in the legs, and this prawn just catches fish. So it's probably in my top 3 flathead lures now. Looks real, behaves real, and these guys think it's real for sure, so they eat it. Stay tuned, we're going to be hunting a few flathead on one of my new favourite flathead lures. Fish on. All right, basically what we're doing here is we're just working our way along a big weed edge, dropping off into a channel. So it's sort of about 1 to 1.5 meters where we are here. Virtually no water there. The water's still flowing off this bank, and there's bait coming off here with it as well. I like to see birds up here feeding. That means there's a bit of bait up there as well. And basically we're just picking the edges. So we're working our way along the edges. We'll make a cast up onto the edge, allow that plastic to hit the bottom, and we're just hopping that prawn imitation back. So give it a couple of flicks, give it a pause, let it bump the bottom. And a lot of the times the bites will come as that's sinking back down. The legs are vibrating, the antenna are vibrating. So we'll get that couple of kicks of the tail and then that sink back down and get the eat. So we'll just keep picking our way along this edge. We'll see if we can find ourselves a couple more flatties. Like this, see that, look at that pocket. That's a beautiful pocket. Yeah, the flatties that I was getting here last time, mate, they just ate it, hey. There's bites again. Yeah, like they are right up in the back there. That guy just ate it. I like it when they just eat it. Yeah, like that. Oh yeah. Oh, I tracked it out to the boat and just drilled it. We just let that other little fella go, and now another fish in the boat, so they are scoffing it. Not a little flatty. Hopefully we can find a bit bigger one soon, but still good to turn some numbers over. And they are really eating that prawn like they think it's a proper prawn, that's for sure. Grab a hold of that guy. This is a beautiful colour in there as well. Got some nice UV highlights and stuff on here. Those antennae and those legs getting plenty of action, that's for sure. All right, there we go. A few fish in quick time on that 3.5 inch PrawnZ Elite. Another cool feature of this prawn is it's actually got a glass rattle in here. So it's got that action and that vibration. It's also got noise in there. So a glass rattle for added attraction. When a prawn kicks and flicks, there's often noise in the water, so that glass rattle is another added attraction that gets the fish to bite. Got that bloke to bite. Let's see if we can get his mate to eat. Yep. Picking pockets, I love it. He's a little bit better, that guy. There you go, another one pinned right in the side of the jaw. Scoffed it, picking that pocket right up in there. So we just keep picking these pockets, hopefully keep catching these fish, hopefully find you a bit bigger one. Come on, flat dudes. Yep. Oh, I was half asleep on that tap there. I saw the tap through the rod, then I felt it, and then I hit him. But he's a bit better fish, that one. We're on that fried chicken colour, and it's done pretty good. We might have to change it up after this fish. Mix up the colours a bit and try a few different ones, but that's a nice legal flatty if you wanted a flatty for a feed. on our fried chicken colour again. So I think that's 4 or 5 flatties in quick time on that fried chicken colour, flicking along this edge. Great thing with this plastic, pre-rigged, so all you do is grab it out of the packet and fish it. And a lot of those pre-rigged plastics come with a junky hook. So the great thing about this plastic is that it comes with an awesome hook straight out of the packet. So it's built with a 2.0 mustard ultra point hook. So nice strong 2.0 hook, perfect for guys chasing barra, jacks, that sort of thing as well. And the good thing is this is a 3.5 inch size. There's also a 5 inch size as well for the guys chasing barra, mulloway, all that sort of thing. But beautiful 2.0 mustard black nickel chemically sharpened hook, ready to pin these guys straight out of the packet. All right, we caught a handful of fish on that fried chicken colour, so we switched it up to the Cajun cricket. Real nice fluoro highlights on this guy, nice UV reactive colour. I was a bit slow. Lucky the fish think this thing looks like a real prawn because I was a bit slow on that last hit. If you watch the video, you'll notice the tick on the rod and then a second delay before I struck. So you always got to be ready for that eat on the pause, because that's when they'll often eat it, as it vibrates back down with those legs and antennae going. Good thing is we've seen today, like, they're eating this thing a long way down because it looks so real. So we'll just keep picking these pockets. We're right up in the sand patches in the weed here. You'll see darker patches of weed, lighter patches of sand, and we're just hitting those deeper pockets where the fish will be sitting, waiting to ambush bait, waiting to ambush prawns that are flicking out off this flat. ZMan have thought about everything when it comes to this PrawnZ Elite 3.5 inch. This is the ones we're fishing today. Comes in a pack of 2, so excellent value for money. And when we open this up, we actually have our own storage for the lure here in the packaging. So hang on to your packaging, because once you pop that plastic out and it's ready to go, just grab and go, tie it on, go catch yourself a few flatties. The one that you're keeping in your tackle box, or when you're finished with it, give them a rinse and you can store them back in this packaging. So simply just drop it in. You can see the antennae drop in there. Our legs and everything are nice and neat. And we simply just close that, and that will protect the lure, protect the legs, protect the antennae. And on the sides here, we've got some little plastic tabs. So we can just flick these plastic tabs closed, and that's going to lock that lure in there so that we can stow it in our sling bag, our tackle block, our tackle bag, ready to go and fish. Keeping it in the best condition, ready to go and catch you some flatties. So remember that little tip for storing your PrawnZ Elite in their original packaging. Yep. Oh, that was beautiful. Pause that one, allowed it to fall, eating on the drop. That's a little bit better fish. Come on, buddy. Oh, giving me a bit of stick. He's fired up on that edge. Solid little fish. That was our change to the Cajun cricket colour. Nice UV reactive colour. Beautiful looking prawn. Tons of cool colours in the range, and that guy didn't muck around eating that. Flicked up in that little pocket on the edge. So that's a half a dozen fish, pretty quick time along an edge. So that's fishing a channel edge. We're basically working up into the pockets. We might dart off over and do a bit of drain fishing now that tide's dropped out a bit. So we've had about an hour of run out, got ourselves half a dozen fish. We'll go and hit some drains for that last of the run out, and then see if we can get a couple more on the run in as well. So there you go, that's Cajun cricket and a handful of flatty. Some bait here. Yep, beautiful. We just saw the bait flicking in here along this weed edge. Yeah, we're still on the same edge. Just one more cast. You know, when you've got a bank that looks this good, we just couldn't walk away, so thought we'd throw a couple more casts. Oh, that's a nice pan-sized flatty on our 3.5 inch PrawnZ Elite. That 2.0 mustard ultra point heavy duty hook pinned in beautifully there, and all those things that make that prawn so deadly getting the bite. It's just so good. It's around about 1/4 ounce of weight, so it's probably one of the most popular. The weights for fishing for flatties is 1/4 ounce when you're fishing those shallows, from almost no water through to about 2.5 to 3 meters of water. So that around about 1/4 ounce of weight is perfect for picking these pockets and picking these edges, and that's a nice handful of fish, legal flatty on our PrawnZ Elite. All right, we've been catching plenty of flatties on the ZMan 3.5 PrawnZ Elite. Let's bust a packet open and have a closer look at one. So I've got one here, as you can see, very realistic looking prawn profile for starters, in that durable 10 times tough material. So we can catch a bunch of fish straight out of the packet on the one lure. Design wise, we've got a segmented body down to a cupped tail. And what that gives us is a lifelike prawn kick in the water. And then when we pause the prawn, we get this vibration from the leg and the antenna as that lure sinks down. So we've got that realism, we've got that kick, and we've also got that vibration. So there's plenty going on. Some good natural colors with UV highlights in there. And there's also a glass rattle inside this prawn as well for additional noise. So we've got noise, action, realism, vibration, plenty going on there to catch fish. And it's all built on an internal weight here. Weighs about 1/4 of an ounce, which is perfect for weighting the flats and flicking it around, flicking the edges. That general sort of flatty fishing that we do where we're looking for 1/4 ounce also makes it ideal for jacks and a stack of other species that love to eat a prawn as well. And that's built on an ultra point mustard hook, a heavy duty 2.0 mustard. So it's a brutally strong hook, built for stopping big fish as well. So that's our PrawnZ Elite, the ultimate prawn imitation in my opinion, and now one of my favorite flathead lures. Get out there and check them out. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, I drilled that right on the edge. That was a solid take. Oh, I love the way they eat this PrawnZ Elite. They just smack it. That's that fried chicken color. Fishing the edge bite. Stay on there, buddy. That water's dirtied up a bit. And we've got a storm brewing in the background, so we just got to make the most of this bite while we can before we get chased off the water. But we turned over a handful of, a bunch of small fish on this guy. Now a couple of better ones as that tide's turned. A bit better quality fish is forcing the bait up into the shallows. So this guy here, he's got that cupped shaped tail and that segmented body, so it gives him a really nice tail kick. Got that vibration in the legs and the antenna as it falls down. And this guy, I gave it a couple of hops as it flooded back down, those legs going, bang, he just ate it, and he ate it pretty well, that's for sure. That's a nice fish. There we go. He's still fired up. He came in pretty green, that one. We whacked him and got him in off that edge. So nice handful of flathead, ZMan PrawnZ Elite 3.5 inch, and we're in the fried chicken color for that guy. All right, that water's still dirtied up. We've had a bunch of rain, so with that dirty water comes a choice of, for me, a plastic that's got a bit of UV reactive qualities to it, like that Cajun cricket or that fried chicken or something like that in this prawns. Otherwise a darker, more sort of, a little bit of a tap there I think. Darker silhouette color is also good, like a brown prawn, natural prawn. There's a stack of colors in the range, so plenty of options for you to choose from. I'm gonna belt this back in again. Pretty good around the weed, this lure as well. It kind of, because it floats down with those legs and settles, it doesn't really pick up a lot of weed, so it's pretty good for flicking in amongst the weed patches and weed edges like we are here today. So I'm just throwing it on 2 to 4 kilo and 3 to 6 kilo gear. I've put away the 1 to 3 kilo rods for throwing this guy. You could throw it on those rods, but in the wind, that 2 to 4 kilo or 3 to 6 kilo rod's doing the job for us today. We'll just keep punching them in there and see what we can pull out. Oh, there's a tap. Felt a bit brimmy, that one. Might go back through that same area again. When we get a bite in an area, it's definitely worth punching another cast into that area where you got the bite. See if you can stir him up into taking another hit, or Flatty's school as well, so he could have a mate there with him. It's a lot of bait working along this edge. I'm going to go into that back bait right over in that back edge there. There's a back weed bank, and then there's a bit of a drain, and then we've got a sort of front weed edge, so I can hop it in that back drain, see if there's one home in there. Then when I feel it bump the weed, I can rip it up over that weed edge a bit and then allow it to drop back down again. So I kind of get 2 bites with that water pushing in. The fish and the bait are moving up in the back. So I can have a crack in the front and then a crack in the... There's a lot of bait pushing through there. Might just throw in front of that bait that's moving through and see what's pushing it along. Often if you see bait pushing along the edge, there could be something sitting in behind it feeding on it. So it's worth getting a cast in amongst that bait and see if whatever's pushing the bait along eats your lure. Oh, so much bait just there. That wind's not really helping us out today. You can see that wind's a bit, it's gusting up and it's pushing us around a bit. So we're trying to use the wind in our favor. So we're using the wind to help us throw a cast where we want to fish. So the wind's at our back and that allows us to use the wind to pinpoint a cast right into where we want to put it, in those patches in the weed, those little pockets. And then we're just hopping and working that prawn out of those pockets in the weed. There's the weed there. You can twitch it back through it and then let it fall again. Hopefully we can find ourselves a couple more fish to finish the session and beat the storm home. Oh yep, there we go on that edge. Unfortunately our drain, we went and fished a drain for a little bit but it didn't fire. So we've come back onto the edge to fish. The tide's started to push in a bit now. So the water's getting up over the banks. And these guys are moving up with the water up onto the bank. So that's a nice fish, that's a better fish. So our prawns, we've seen tiny fish eat it, we've seen fish up to this sort of size eat it, and we've caught some crackers on it. So you can definitely turn over numbers with the prawn. You can also get those better quality fish. So that guy there, he's in the 50s. And he's drilled that prawn fish right on the edge. We just saw a little bit of bait flicking there. Find the bait, find the fish. That bait was flicking. Put our prawn right in there, gave him a couple of flicks, and boom, he got nailed. That's a nice flatty. All right, folks, there we go. We caught numbers of fish, a bunch of fish, and then we caught ourselves a better one to finish with there as well on that 3.5-inch PrawnZ Elite. If you love your flatty fishing, make sure you check out that guy. 2 in a pack, pull one straight out of the packet, fish on, ready to go. All right, let's get this guy back in the water. We'll see you out there. Fish on.